Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You're muted, Guru Maharaj.
Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paraman Supripad Jakacharya Ashto Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavind Ki Jai Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Welcome, everybody, to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. And we're beginning with Srimad Bhagavatam 4:22-24. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Guru Maharaj, would you like to read?
Okay. Ahimsaya Paramahamsa Charyaya Smritya Mukundar Chittagriya Siduna Yamar Kamar Yamaishchap Janindriya Nirihaya Dvandva Tatikshaya Cha. A candidate for spiritual advancement must be nonviolent, must follow in the footsteps of great acharyas, must always remember the nectar of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, must follow the regulative principles without material desire, and while following the regulative principles, should not blaspheme others. A devotee should lead a very simple life and not be disturbed by the duality of opposing elements. He should learn to tolerate them. Purport: devotees are actually saintly persons or sadhus. The first qualification of a sadhu or devotee is ahimsa, or non-violence. Persons interested in the path of devotional service or in going back home, back to Godhead, must first practice ahimsa, or non-violence. A sadhu is described as tatikshava karunika. A devotee should be tolerant and should be very much compassionate toward others. For example, if he suffers personal injury, he should tolerate it. But if someone else suffers injury, the devotee need not tolerate it. The whole world is full of violence, and a devotee's first business is to stop this violence, including the unnecessary slaughter of animals. A devotee is the friend not only of human society, but of all living entities, for he sees all living entities as sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not claim himself to be the only Son of God and allow all others to be killed, thinking that they have no soul. This kind of philosophy is never advocated by a pure devotee of the Lord. Surhita sarvadehina. The true devotee is the friend of all living entities. Krishna claims in Bhagavad Gita to be the father of all species of living entities. Consequently, the devotee of Krishna is always a friend of all. This is called ahimsa. Such nonviolence can be practiced only when we follow in the footsteps of great acharyas. Therefore, according to our Vaishnava philosophy, we have to follow the great acharyas of the four sampradayas, or disciplic succession. Just one moment. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahyam Dadhati Shupadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstra Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sidivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Puri Priya Vanshako Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyevacha Dita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Ahimsaya, Srila Prabhupada glosses this word, nonviolence. This is continuing a discussion of the qualities or the activities that a devotee should perform, the principles that a devotee should follow, or that an aspiring spiritual candidate should follow. A candidate aspiring for advancement in spiritual life. These are the principles. So ahimsa, nonviolence, and here Srila Prabhupada specifically links that to the violence of animal killing, which is, of course, horrible. Elsewhere, and perhaps even more usually, Srila Prabhupada translates nonviolence as not failing to give Krishna consciousness to others. If we give them ideas of sense gratification and material enjoyment, then we're doing violence. And Paramahamsacharya, one has to follow the footsteps of great acharyas. Then, trying to advance in spiritual life outside of the disciplic succession is simply ludicrous. So this is also Acharya, Paramahamsa Acharya. Trying to advance in spiritual life outside the disciplic succession is simply useless, ludicrous. It is said, therefore, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, one who follows the disciplic succession of acharyas, knows things as they are. Tad vigyanartam sa gurum eva bhikachche. In order to understand the transcendental science, one must approach the bona fide spiritual master. So this is also fundamental. One has to approach the bona fide acharya, acharya upasana, acharyavan purusho veda, tad vigyanartam sa veda sa gurum abhigachte. So all of these principles, all of these evidences establish that very strongly that in order to practice spiritual life, one needs to approach an acharya, a bona fide representative of the disciplic succession. The word smritya is very important in spiritual life. Smritya means remembering Krishna always. Life should be molded in such a way that one cannot remain alone without thinking of Krishna. We should live in Krishna so that while eating, sleeping, walking, and working, we remain only in Krishna. Our Krishna Consciousness Society recommends that we arrange our living so that we can remember Krishna. In our ISKCON society, the devotees, while engaged in making spiritual Gai incense, are also hearing about the glories of Krishna or his devotees. The Shastra recommends Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Lord Vishnu should be remembered always, constantly. Vismartavyo najatuchit. Vishnu should never be forgotten. That is the spiritual way of life, smritya. So this is realized advice. One should arrange one's life in such a way that one can't help but think of Krishna. This is advice Srila Prabhupada gives in many places. This spiritual sky incense, by the way, was an incense company started by Bhagamuni Prabhu, which became quite successful. It had its headquarters in Los Angeles. Over time, it was sold off. But the devotees would make incense. And while making the incense, they would hear recordings about the glories of Krishna. This remembrance of the Lord can be continued if we hear about him constantly. It is therefore recommended in this verse, Mukunda Charitagya Sidhuna. Sidhu means nectar. To hear about Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or similar authentic literature is to live in Krishna consciousness. Such concentration in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by persons who are strictly following the rules and regulative principles. We have recommended in our Krishna consciousness movement that a devotee chant 16 rounds on beads daily and follow the regulative principles. That will help the devotee be fixed in his spiritual advancement in life. This also is practical, that there are some regulative principles to be followed, yamai. So these are all favorable for Krishna consciousness, and we should follow them. It is also stated in this verse that one can advance by controlling the senses, yamai. By controlling the senses, one can become a Swami or Goswami. One who is therefore enjoying the super title Swami or Goswami must be very strict in controlling his senses. Indeed, he must be master of his senses. This is possible when one does not desire any material sense gratification. If by chance the senses want to work independently, he must control them. If we simply practice avoiding material sense gratification, controlling the senses is automatically achieved. One can't advance in spiritual life while being under the dictates of the material senses. One has to be able to control the senses. Another important point mentioned in this connection is anindaya. We should not criticize others' methods of religion. There are different types of religious systems operating under different qualities of material nature. Those operating in the modes of ignorance and passion cannot be as perfect as those cannot be as perfect as that system in the mode of goodness. In Bhagavad Gita, everything has been divided into 3 qualitative divisions. Therefore, religious systems are similarly categorized. When people are mostly under the modes of passion and ignorance, their system of religion will be of the same quality. A devotee, instead of criticizing such systems, will encourage the followers to stick to their principles so that gradually they can come to the platform of religion in goodness. Simply by criticizing them, a devotee's mind will be agitated. Thus, a devotee should tolerate and learn to stop agitation. Give me just one moment, all right? So here's an advice from Srila Prabhupada. That the preacher shouldn't deprecate other religious systems, even though they're meant for those in passion and ignorance. What is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Yukta Samacharet. I'll remember it tomorrow, or Praveen will post it. Bhagavad Gita. One shouldn't disturb the minds of those who are addicted to material activities, fruitive activities, but rather one should engage them in devotional life. So our purpose is not to smash this or that religious principle. If the religion is teaching something about devotion to God, if they're preaching something about morality, good, that will be helpful. And what will be the point of trying to persuade people that their religion is bad, that their religion is second class, and so on? Let people follow this or that religion. But we should encourage them that if you're professing this or that religion, then follow it seriously. These Dharmasya Pravargasya Nartardaya Upagopate. But religion is not meant for sense gratification. So we encourage you to follow these principles, controlling the mind, controlling the senses, always glorifying the Lord. These things will be there in your religion. So follow these good principles, and you can pick up so much from this science of Krishna consciousness. It's not meant to criticize this or that religion. The principles of this or that religion, people will follow according to the modes of nature they've acquired, but we encourage them, follow strictly. Another feature of the devotee is nirihaya, simple living. Niriha means gentle, meek, or simple. A devotee should not live very gorgeously and imitate a materialistic person. Plain living and high thinking are recommended for a devotee. He should accept only so much as he needs to keep the material body fit for the execution of devotional service. He should not eat or sleep more than required, simply eating for living and not living for eating. And sleeping only 6 to 7 hours a day are principles to be followed by devotees. As long as the body is there, it is subjected to the influence of climatic changes, disease, and natural disturbances, the threefold miseries of material existence. We cannot avoid them. Sometimes we receive letters from neophyte devotees questioning why they have fallen sick, although pursuing Krishna consciousness. They should learn from this verse that they have to become tolerant. Dvandva titikshaya. This is the world of duality. One should not think that because he has fallen sick, he has fallen from Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness can continue without impediments from any material opposition. Lord Sri Krishna therefore advises in the Bhagavad Gita, Tam statiksha swabharata. My dear Arjun, please try to tolerate all these disturbances. Be fixed in your Krishna consciousness.
We have a
So,
hand. Okay.
Yeah, we'll finish here and then we'll take questions. A devotee should not live very gorgeously. Sometimes we think that our, sometimes we're just inclined to live very luxuriously, that our advancement can be, that our business is to advance in making our homes very comfortable, having all sorts of gadgets, having all sorts of nice things, and then more nice things, expanding our comfort. But this is not really the business of a devotee. One should not deny oneself what one needs, but one doesn't need to expand the comforts of temporary materialistic life, or the comforts for the body only. Let me just do one thing. Yeah. Niriha means, according to the dictionary, desireless, indifferent. We don't have to put effort into living very gorgeously. It appears to be Prabhupada's. Let's see, how would we do this? Niriha, desireless. Living simply, plain living. India, Niriha. Living simply. That will be better. Otherwise, it's mentioned in the Shastras that something popped up on my screen, it's distracted me. Yes, we become like silkworms, Prahlad Maharaj says, who wrap themselves up in their cocoon and therefore get thrown into boiling water or oil by the silk merchant. So we shouldn't be like that, where we just wrap ourselves up in material luxury, thinking, yes, this is better, this is nicer. We should hold back and use our hard-earned money for spreading Krishna consciousness to others. Otherwise, we're miserly. So much for me, more. Sometimes without even realizing it, we just expand a life of unnecessary luxury. It's better to live austerely, just accepting as much as we need and not expanding unnecessary necessities. All right. Saraswati has a question there.
Pranams Param Puja Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas. Maharaj, I sometimes face a dilemma and so many conflicting emotions because it's really hard for me to find a balance, because on the one hand, we're so eager to give Krishna consciousness, and charity starts at home, so especially with family, extended family, friends, and you know that when we're giving them Krishna consciousness, I sort of become invested in the result, and I know we're just supposed to be an instrument in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, but it's really difficult to stay aloof and not be invested in seeing the people that you're preaching to take up Krishna consciousness seriously. Of course, we know it's Krishna's the supreme controller, but I'm finding it really difficult to not be invested in the result. And sometimes what happens is that you come across not quite as a fanatic, but obsessive, and that can be very off-putting as well. So I'm struggling with trying to find a balance of how I can be successful and effective as a tool for my Guru Maharaj in giving Krishna consciousness to people, but at the same time to be anxious and eager, but to still remain detached from the result. Hare Krishna.
Well, how do we act in a way that reflects eagerness to bring people to Krishna consciousness, yet not put them off by excessive preachiness? One thing taken from your question is that there's more people to preach to than our family members. Naturally, we like to see family members be Krishna conscious, but they're not the only ones. Not that we make our main project the bringing of our family members to Krishna consciousness, extended family members. There are so many other people. If the family members are not interested, then the whole world is our family. So that's one point. Another point is that, yes, it's true, if we're just pushy, people may be put off. So one a tactful preacher may think about that. On the other hand, it appears that Gopinath Acharya, the brother-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, was a nag, actually. We hear from Chaitanya Charitamrita that he was always trying to get Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to become a devotee, not to be an impersonalist speculator. And so it seemed to be an impossible project. But later, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became a first-class devotee. So sometimes we take that risk. We're always talking, all right, I'm a fanatic, but somehow or other, this is my business, always to talk about Krishna, always to encourage you to be Krishna conscious. But an advanced devotee, as you said, will be somewhat detached, that, all right, all I can do is speak about Krishna, and whether you become a devotee is not in my hand. A devotee should also be patient, and a devotee may also be tactful, considering how hard to push, or yes, how considering that. I don't know that there's a line in Shastra that you can't pass. Everything is up to the discretion and expertise of the devotee. Neophyte devotee, less experienced devotee, will be less effective than the more experienced devotee who knows when to be patient and just wait, when to push. That comes with experience and also following the example of acharyas and advanced devotees, and by Krishna's mercy also. Hare Krishna.
We have some things in the chat. Naveen Prabhu writes,
there's that verse is there, Nabudhi Bedam Janaye. Again, Karma Sangina Joshi Sarva Karmani Vidvanyu Sasamaj. We shouldn't disturb the minds of those who are attached to material activities. We should engage such person in activities that will help connect them with Krishna consciousness.
Naveen Prabhu.
Another,
yeah.
Yes.
Naveen Prabhu writes, in terms of not smashing or heavily criticizing various religions, how would this principle apply when a devotee interacts with Mayavadis or atheists?
Srila Prabhupada sometimes, well, he deals with different ways, in different ways. Sometimes he'll, one thing is that he would avoid criticizing this or that particular leader, so-called spiritual leader, but he would attack the philosophy. Because if we attack the leader, then the person becomes offended, the follower becomes offended. So Prabhupada would often not attack the person, but speak to the philosophy. Sometimes also he acknowledged, all right, something is good, something good. They're following regulative principles, they're very detached, whatever. But then he would find the shortcoming, the fault. So atheism is not a religious principle that we have to be, what's the word, that we have to hold beyond criticism. Krishna himself, Namam Duskritana Mudha, Apadyantain or not. So again, it's a question of maturity, but not that we belong to the sampradaya where I'm okay, you're okay, everything's okay. Bona fide systems of religion should be respected for their contribution. But Srila Prabhupada was not of the mind to indulge the Mayavadis and atheists. Hare Krishna.
Kunal Prabhu has a
Hare
hand.
Krishna, Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. So my question is related to the verse that we read, that we should not disturb the mind of the materialists, but we should try to engage them. But then in the Bhagavatam, there is also this pastime of Jayadvaita, where he became compassionate towards a deer and went behind him, and his spiritual practice got disturbed. So is it okay? Is it better to stay like aloof, not aloof, but it is to let them do what they're doing and continue our spiritual practice? Just try to give them some nuggets and then be on our path.
Try to give them some.
Spiritual nuggets, or maybe offer them spiritual.
Yeah,
maybe
again on Karma
invite them.
Sangina, it doesn't mean that we don't give them any instruction. It doesn't mean that we just say, all right, carry on with your material life and, your hopeless case. But Joshiate Sarva Karman, we encourage them to be active. We don't tell them how you become a sannyasi, give up all material activities and turn your back on the world. That will not work. They're karma sangina. They're attached to working. They're attached to working. It doesn't mean that we encourage them in sinful activities, that we don't say anything about their animal killing or about their gambling, woman hunting, and so on. Not that we just compromise, but karma sangina. They're attached to fruitive activities. They may be attached to some pious activities. So we don't say give up activities. Even Arjuna, he's told that you continue your activities. There's Hare Krishna. The Astita Janakarya Loka Sangraha Mevapi. Krishna's instructing. There's many different ways to Arjuna. Don't give up prescribed duties. Don't give up working. Don't give up working. Don't give up your duty to work. But dedicate everything to me. It would be very nice if you turn your back on the world, give up everything, just engage in bhajan, just engage in devotional activities. Very good, but people are too attached. If you tell them that, you'll just agitate their minds and you won't get any good result. So better, encourage them. Joshiyate, sarva karma. Connect all your activities to Krishna. Connect all your activities with Krishna. So that's not silence, that no, you do any nonsense, but that you keep your activities. Narad Muni says that just as milk can cause indigestion, but milk transformed into yogurt can cure indigestion. So the same activities that result in material entanglement can result in liberation from material entanglement when connected with Krishna. So we should encourage people, Joshiyate, Sarvakam, connect all of your activities with Krishna, and you'll make progress. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, moving on to text 25. Naveen Prabhu, are you available?
Is there a question from Praveen there that I skipped over?
Oh, let's see. No, I don't see anything.
Just before Nabudi Beta?
That's Naveen, and we already went over that.
I went
No.
over that. Oh, that's Naveen also and not Praveen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Text 25. Harer muhus tatpara karnapura gunabhidanena vidrimvamanaya bhaktya hi asanga sadasati yanatmani syan nirgune brahmani chanjasa ratihi. Translation. The devotee should gradually increase the culture of devotional service by constant hearing of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These pastimes are like ornamental decorations on the ears of devotees. By rendering devotional service and transcending the material qualities, one can easily be fixed in transcendence in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. This verse is especially mentioned to substantiate the devotional process of hearing the subject matter. A devotee does not like to hear anything other than subjects dealing with spiritual activities or the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can increase our propensity for devotional service by hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from realized souls. The more we hear from realized souls, the more we make advancement in our devotional life. The more we advance in devotional life, the more we become detached from the material world. The more we become detached from the material world, as advised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the more we increase in attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a devotee who actually wants to make progress in devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead, must lose interest in sense enjoyment and associating with persons who are after money and sense gratification. This is the advice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The word Brahmani used in this verse is commented upon.
We're not going to skip over it.
Okay.
Niskinchanasya bhagavad bhajanon mukasya param param jigimeshur pavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam atayoshitam cha hanta hanta vishabhakshanato pisadhu. Yes.
The word Brahmani used in this verse is commented upon by the impersonalists or professional reciters of Bhagavatam. who are mainly advocates of the caste system by demoniac birthright. They say that Brahmani means the impersonal Brahman, but they cannot conclude this with reference to the context of the words bhaktya and gunabhidhanena. According to the impersonalists, there are no transcendental qualities in the impersonal Brahman. Therefore, we should understand that Brahmani means in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as admitted by Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, wherever the word Brahma is used, it must refer to Krishna, not to the impersonal Brahman effulgence. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shabdyate. Bhagavatam 1-11. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan can all be taken in total as Brahman. But when there is reference to the word bhakti, or remembrance of the transcendental qualities, this indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the impersonal Brahman. Maharaj, would you have comments on this verse?
Yes. This, now, Sanat Kumar is coming to this point. We've heard about the various qualities for cultivating spiritual advancement. And then now we're hearing conclusively that one should be absorbed in hearing about Brahman. But let's see. Yes. Gunabhitanena Vijimbrahmanaya. One should constantly hear about the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Harer Mahus Tatpara Karna Pura Gunabhitanena Vijimbrahmanaya. One should increase Krishna consciousness by constantly hearing and discussing transcendental qualities of the Lord, which are karnapura, like decorations for the ear. Then bhaktya yasanga sadasat anatmani. The good or bad topics of the material world should be set aside and because they're anatmana, opposed to spiritual understanding. And nirgune brahmani, anjasa, ratihi. The point is to get rati, attraction, to nirguna brahma. So that nirguna, then the Mayavadis will say, aha, here's the goal, nirguna brahma, the impersonal Brahman, which has no form, qualities, activities, and so on. But here, harer muhus tatpara karnapura gunabhidanena. We should hear about the qualities of the personality of Godhead. If these were material qualities, what would be the use of hearing them? They'd be part of sadasat-atmani, part of the material discussions. So, therefore, nirguna brahma doesn't mean only the impersonal absolute. Krishna is also nirguna. Yes, Krishna himself is nirguna. He's transcendental to the material qualities. And he's also Brahma, the absolute truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdate. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that wherever you see this word Brahma, read Krishna. That Supreme Brahman is Krishna. Brahmanohi Pratishta. Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Brahma. So this is, at the same time, we see in these instructions as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has commented, the characteristics of Shanta Rati, where the devotee mainly appreciates the personality of Godhead. That description is there in Nectar Devotion, in fact. Maybe somebody would like to find that passage. I can find it, but see if I find it quickly, because it's relevant. Yeah. See if we find it. Yeah. And then I don't see it right away. Ah, yes, but now I see. This appreciation of, let's see, the Lord is appreciated by when one cultivates devotional service and comes to the point of Shantarati. One can see Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the deliverer of even the demons. The Lord is appreciated by such would-be devotees as the eternal transcendental form, chief of all self-realized souls, the super soul, and the supreme Brahma. He is also appreciated as being completely peaceful, completely controlled, and pure, merciful to the devotees, untouched by any material condition. This appreciation of Lord Vishnu in awe and veneration by the saintly is to be understood as the sign that they are situated in the Shanta Rasa, or the neutral stage of devotional service. This stage of Shanta Rasa can be attained by the impersonalists only when they are in association with pure devotees. Otherwise, it is not possible. After Brahman realization, when a liberated soul comes in contact with a pure devotee of Lord Krishna and submissively accepts the teachings of Lord Krishna without misinterpretation, he becomes situated in this neutral stage of devotional service. The best example of saintly persons situated in the Shantaras are Shanak, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar, the Kumar brothers. These four saintly persons, known as Chatusana, are sons of Lord Brahma. Then some history of their becoming Krishna conscious is given. I'm shortening it because our time is short. These four saintly persons almost always remain together. And then a prayer is quoted. How they, yes, appreciating the Lord. A saintly person is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, one who understands fully that simply by discharging devotional service can become confident of liberation. He is always situated in the regulative principles of devotional life, and at the same time aspires to be liberated from material entanglement. The saintly person thinks, when shall I be able to live alone in the caves of the mountains? When shall I be dressed simply with undergarments? When shall I be satisfied by eating simply a little fruit and vegetables? When will it be possible for me to think always of the lotus feet of Mukunda, who is the source of the Brahman effulgence? When, in such a spiritual condition of life, shall I fully understand my days and nights to be insignificant moments in eternal time? There's more here. This is chapter 35, Neutral Love of God, in the Nectar of Devotion. So we find the culmination of instructions by Sanat Kumar here and coming verses also, culminating in rati, or attachment to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond the impersonal Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Okay, we can take these other items tomorrow. That's right. Is that good, since we're almost at 8 p.m.?
Now tomorrow will be Chaitanya Charitamrita, so I think, am I right?
Yeah,
You're
right.
right. It'll be Thursday tomorrow. So then we'll defer it till Monday.
Okay. Naveen Prabhu, would you like to lead Kirtan?
Yes, I can, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hi, Om Srimad Paramahansa Paripurajaka Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Samukunda Radha Kundagiri Gaurital Ki Jai, Vrindavan Tham Ki Jai, Navadip Tham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Ramana Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And thank you, Naveen. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rasananda. Thank you to all. Hare Krishna.